I guess that you trade for a misstep, maybe you're okay with that.
Yeah. But it's just, when you're aspiring to trade with a misstep when you put the card in your deck, it's much less exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just the existence of misstep makes it a less attractive card by the merit that it's a one-cost card. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, previously, one of the things that was so powerful about Stifle was that there was nothing your opponent could do other than force of will if you wanted to basically strip mine them with it when they sack the fetch land. Now the fact that there is an easier way to deal with it makes the card in itself more less attractive because it can't dominate the early game in the same way, and it still has that same diminishing utility as the game progresses.
Right. All right. So not a lot of time left. Players heading into game number 2. Edgar Flores up a game.
So Jason Smelski looks like he keeps his hand. Edgar also looks like he keeps. And Jason debating his turn 1 play. It is Underground Sea. Passes the turn back.
Sea.
And Wasteland takes out the Underground Sea. Looks like Jason is Brainstorm.
All right. It's pretty reasonable. Edgar missteps instantly.
Is Jason misstepping back? Perhaps dazing. I don't know that. I don't actually know that I'd misstep. Just because you open yourself up to daze.
A lot of problems. I think there are a lot of problems with misstep there. I mean, also just I don't think that brainstorm is that good of a brainstorm.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I think it's primarily the fact that you make your Wasteland potentially countered by daze that I would not misstep there. But apparently Jason did not have a daze and misstep resolves.
Plays Verdant Catacomb. And cracks it.
So we see yet another Loch Ness Underground Sea.
Huh. And Rob Alexander did the original Dual Lands, right?
I believe he did that one.
That's the signature that I see. So, or yeah, or at least Underground Sea. Pretty sure he did, and I think that's the signature. Taps 2, plays Tarmogoyf. So Tarmogoyf down. Edgar's board Blue Delta and Mutavault.
So Mutavault does not match, and yet that is Bitter Blossom. So it is sort of weird how, looking at Edgar's deck, we talked about this a little bit in game 1, how poorly set up he is to actually kill a creature. He has no actual creature removal spells.
After sideboarding it, the changes, but yeah.
It's possible that he has, and he's getting dazed now. So interestingly, that we did not have the days to save the land from Force of Will, from Wasteland, but a couple turns later, it shows up to stop Bitter Blossom.
Why don't you think this deck has Crowbox? It seems so good.
Look at how big this Goyf is.
It's got tribal.
He just countered a tribal enchantment.
Tribal, instant, lands.
There's no creatures yet, but already tribal instant lands.
Enchantment,
yeah. Already a 4/5.
Why don't you think this deck has Crowbox? Seems like the perfect fit for a
Edgar's deck?
Yeah, for Edgar's deck.
I don't know.
Like you have 8 very potent, 2-drops you want to play.
Yeah, I would probably be playing Crowbox in this deck.
Yeah, I played probably 2 or 3 boxes, but Edgar chose not to. Plays Vidalian Click, or sorry, Brainstorm, not Vidalian Click. I don't know why I said that.
Vidalian Click. They're pretty similar cards, so
just dreaming.
Both of them involve cards.
Just dreaming about my Vidalian Click. Sorry, I like that card a lot.
I think I've actually been reading too much of Song of Fire and Ice lately. I've actually been dreaming about wolves and stuff.
Or maybe it's just Innistrad.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
There you go. You're going to transform. All right, there goes Bitter Blossom.
Another Bitter Blossom comes down. This one, Force of Will.
Jason quickly forces that.
So another interesting thing about Edgar's deck is he doesn't have Jaces on his own.
Yep, he can't fight Jaces by playing his own Jace.
So he's
I would probably play like a Jace or 2 in this kind of deck.
Yeah, I feel like I would want both Jace and removal. I mean, he's fitting the Bitter Blossom somehow, and that's through having he has a discard and these Bitter Blossoms instead of the Jaces and removal spells that the other sort of blue-black decks tend to play.
Right.
So we see Tarmogoyf take another big chunk out of Edgar's life total.
That's 2 Dark Confidant.
Dark Confidant. Edgar is at 8. This Dark Confidant is
Dead.
Well, it's dead.
Gets smothered.
And Edgar is going to be pretty dead pretty fast himself.
Cracks the fetch lands. Spell Snare maybe here.
Or Spell Pierce.
Spell X. Spell Snare.
Blue 1 casting cost card that counters something.
And
It has 2 involved somehow. It's like a theme.
Spell Snare is such a sweet card. Alright, Edgar takes it. That should bring him down to 2. It's 2 or 3.
I believe they're still the same size. Well, there's a creature dead now. No, there's actually no creature dead. It's still sitting there.
But my least favorite thing about Tarmogoyf, and there's a lot of things I hate about it, is that you have to recount your graveyard all the time, over and over.
It can be pretty annoying. It's like, how big is it now? How big is it now?
Another Tarmogoyf comes down for Jason Smelski. Flips, Spell
Snare. Not quite on time, and
right.
Edgar's dead.
And Edgar just concedes.
So
Wants to make sure he's got enough time for a third game.
Shuffles up for game 3.
Not a lot of time left on the clock.
They came into that game with 18 minutes left. That was a pretty quick game.
Probably 10-ish minutes by the time the next one starts.
I'm guessing they're probably going to be pretty pressed for time in this game 3. We're getting an exact count of the time right now. And there are 9 minutes remaining in the round.
Wow.
So
9 minutes left by the time they present.
And given how fast that game went, it's going to be pretty tough for them to finish in time. That was the fastest you're really going to expect one of these games to go, and it still took 8 or 9 minutes.
And it looks like Jason's going back to the sideboard too, changing up something he did.
I mean, a lot of people. Well, this isn't it's not any sort of like stalling or anything. You often, when you're on the draw in a situation like this, unless your deck is specifically poised in such a way that it has the advantage, in terms of finishing a fast game, you will often on the draw want to configure your deck in such a way that you can play defensively, so you don't lose quickly. While it's certainly not in your best interests for to get a draw, you'd much rather get a win. If you are very unlikely to be able to win in the time allotted, you want to make sure that you're not going to lose. So right. I would not be terribly surprised if Jason Smelski made sure he was full up on removal for this game, whereas he may have cut a little bit for the last one.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of players just really undervalue how the game changes when you're on the play or on the draw. We talked about this yesterday, how different the game can be on the play or on the draw, even constructed and limited. And limited, I think, first of all, sideboarding is super underutilized in limited. People
absolutely
sideboard way too rarely when you should be sideboarding. Probably it's in 70 or 80% of your matches.
Not even just sideboarding, but drafting for your sideboard.
Yeah.
One thing that, in particular in M12, there are a lot of very powerful sideboard cards that uncommon. Things like Death Mark, things like Celestial Purge.
Yeah. These
are all very, very good cards. Flash Freeze. I mean, Purge and Death Mark are the two best of them because they're essentially just removal spells. And I will often take a Celestial Purge or a Death Mark over a card that could very well end up in my main deck, just because the impact of those cards when they matter is so much higher than a random like 15th creature in your deck, 16th creature in your deck. So there are even cards that I'll often main deck.
Yeah,
Death Mark in particular, I'm perfectly happy having a main deck Death Mark because white and green are two of the core creature colors in the format. And that you can kill a Gideon's Lawkeeper or a Greater Basilisk alike. Those are both very good cards to kill. So getting back to the match, we started off. Edgar Flores has done exactly what we were talking about. The stifle on the turn 1 fetch land on the play, much more powerful than it is in the draw. He thought seizes now.
Sees Brainstorm, Daze, Misty, Jace, 2 Brainstorms, 3 full house.
Daze is full of Brainstorm.
We got a full house. Man, if Edgar has a couple of therapy, Jason is not going to be happy.
That would be pretty gross.
That'd be unbelievable, yeah.
His deck does have therapy in it, too.
It's got 2 therapies.
Yeah.
if he has it.
Certainly doesn't want therapy right now because there are, well, he knows there's 3 dazes on the other side of the table.
Well, he's got no land to return.
Oh, I guess that's true, yeah.
Like it would be actually be pretty insane. Although I think I might name Brainstorm over days potentially, but
yeah.
Gets Jason plays with one of his fetches, gets Underground Sea. This one is safe, no stifle from Edgar Flores. Untap, draw. Looks like there's a, is that a Mutavault? Might have been a Mutavault.
So Mutavault gets past the Daze wall, and we see a Wasteland on Edgar's hand. So
do you just waste away that Underground Sea?
Whatever you do, you should probably do it faster than Edgar is.
Yeah, not a lot of time left.
You definitely want to be able to win this game rather than draw it, and at this pace of play, this game is not ending.
Yeah, I mean, they only have about 5 minutes left.
I mean, both players, it looks like neither player has a particularly proactive hand. Jason has a trio of dazes to go with his pair of Brainstorms, which we see one coming out right now.
And Edgar didn't go for Confidant or Bitter Blossom.
Is Edgar looking to daze here? To daze the Brainstorm?
Does Edgar have Vendilion Click? That'd be a reasonable thing to have here, I guess.
I wouldn't click. You know that your opponent has 3 dazes.
I mean, not right now, but I mean, just to have a clock. Like.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's definitely a card that has an impact. It looks like that's a Diabolic Edict.
Yeah, Diabolic Edict.
Off the boat. But,
as we said back in the old days.
Yeah. The art, by the way, in Diabolic Edict is someone being thrown off a boat, so. And Edgar has shown daze, so I hope he's casting it. Otherwise, it's a little embarrassing.
I just want you to know that I have
this. Hey, it's only fair. I know 3 of your dazes. I figure I should show you one of mine.
It's like when you just pick up your morph and like hold it in the air for a second before you attack with it. Not a very good idea. Cracks Misty Rainforest.
So if Edgar wanted to daze that Brainstorm, I'm a little surprised he didn't just Wasteland. It looks like he's trying to pin Jason's resources, keep him with the cards he knows about. He could certainly slow down his ability to generate action with that Wasteland more than that daze. And now, if Jason does have, say, a Tarmogoyf, which it looks like he doesn't, he wouldn't have a daze to be able to stop it.
Yeah, I like Wastelanding there. I mean, you're already ahead. Like, you just continue to press your advantage. All right, so Edgar activates Mutavault.
Mutavault comes in. I think I would have played my Wasteland at least before that, because...
So I get Mutavault, says go to attack step.
And he's going to smother it. Yeah, he didn't... Edgar really should have played his Wasteland, because now it looks like Edgar has a Spell Pierce in his hand, and now he knows there's 3 dazes on the other side of the table. So he can't even pay for a daze if he were to Spell Pierce.
Yeah, I don't like that play by Edgar.
I'm almost certain that's a Spell Pierce in his hand.
and it's not like...
Wasteland takes out...
Tropical Island.
Okay.
Man. There's another land by for Jason Smelski.
Cracks again.
So, yeah, pretty slow. I highly doubt this is going to finish in time. Granted, Legacy is a format where you can just play Tarmogoyf and win in a couple attacks, but this is not looking like the game's going to end anytime soon. Unless there's a Tarmogoyf here. That'd change things up. Nope. Just goes to Edgar. Edgar plays another Mutavault. Inquisition's Jason. Just going to probably take away...
Well, Jason has another Brainstorm, so he can Brainstorm a response if he wants to.
Well, he's used 2 of his Brainstorms.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he had only played 1. So he's casting Daze.
Hey.
Edgar pays. He dazes again.
All right.
I'm guessing that's his last
spell.
The last spell that matters here. So, but this is worth the information.
So basically, he traded an extra daze. So, he's gonna daze what? Well, you spent 3 dazes.
All right. That's. I guess we did know that he had the 3 dazes in his hand, but
I thought that Jason play. I didn't think it would actually happen. Why? I don't. Wow.
Put himself on no land.
I mean, and he just wasted 2 days.
He's 3 cards on that one Inquisition. Instead of getting... Oh, well,
He
that's
draws
a good draw.
Confidant.
I guess if there's a Confidant on top of your deck, then...
I don't get that Daze Play.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
I probably Edict from Flores here. Yep, Edict's away the Confidant. And Jason has a Tropical Island. And there's a Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf. The top of his deck is very good to him.
Brainstorm, Edgar.
I bet he wishes... Oh, I thought that was a spell snare. I was going to say, I bet he wishes he had Dazes left.
Yeah, that's so weird to me, that triple Daze play.
So time has just been called. Do they have any extra time? I don't know. We're gonna figure out exactly how much time they have remaining. But the official end of the round has been called.
Edgar puts his cards back.
They have 3 additional minutes, which that Tarmogoyf may... Oh, the Tarmogoyf may be enough to finish the game in. There is a... Actually, that Goyf's still pretty small. But Edgar doesn't really have much action, and that Goyf looks like it may just be able to finish him.
There's creature land instants.
And it looks like...
I don't think there's anything else.
I believe Jason had a Jace in his hand as the last card. And he's attacking before casting it. I could be wrong, but I thought there was a Jace.
Alright, well, they're counting up Tarmogoyf. And there's the Jace post-combat.
I mean, that's going to get countered and would have given Tarmogoyf an extra +1. So that's something that people are so used to playing their spells before attacking with their, after attacking with their creatures, that in situations where they really should be casting them first, they often don't.
I definitely had a couple embarrassing turns in Zendikar Limited. I always play my lands after I attack. Definitely had some embarrassing turns where I'd be like, attack, all right, landfall, go.
I actually had a particularly embarrassing series of events way back when at like the Invasion Block Limited Pro Tour. Playing as Gary Wise, I had Malimo Maro Sorcerer in play. I think I guess +1/+1 for every land you have.
Okay.
And didn't play my land before combat and attacked. And I was like, oh, I felt so dumb for not playing my land that I didn't play it after combat.
No.
Which compounded my mistake when I drew a land the next turn. And like ended up getting my guy Giant Growth to death if I had just had that extra land in play. So when you make a mistake, people, don't try to cover it up. Own up to your mistake and be like, yeah, I messed up. I'm going to take the best line of play, moving forward.
So Edgar has Mutavault, so he goes block Mutavault, return it with Riptide Laboratory. Yeah, I've seen people in like feature matches be like, well, I made a mistake. I better not show that I made a mistake. And it's like, well, like you just have to make the best play you can in every situation.
If you're more concerned with saving face than winning, then that's a bigger problem.
There are other games for you.
Yeah. So Edgar basically just on defense here.
Yeah, Edgar just using the singleton Riptide Lab. He drew again this time with that Mutavault. Now knows what Riptide Lab does, which is certainly helping him out. Edgar's hand looks like
a bunch of reactive
click.
cards. Oh, he did just draw a click, it looks like. So
draw step, click you.
His hand is...
You can keep the force.
I would strongly consider clicking myself if I were Edgar, but
which card would you ship?
It looks like Pierce and Snare, right?
Yeah, ship the Pierce.
Well, I mean, I guess Jason he is afraid of potentially just running into another Jace. So maybe you just need to get it take a look at your opponent's hand.
Probably also want to just like have enough mana to like Riptide Lab, block, Mutavault, like do this over and over and over.
I think is Edgar debating whether he wants to double block. Is it even enough? Isn't that click 5 power?
I wouldn't double block there.
Yeah.
You have Riptide Laboratory.
So I think you just send in with the click and set up your wall of Mutavault.
So Edgar is at 9 now, is that correct?
I believe it's a 5 power, right?
5 power?
There's creature, instant, land, Planeswalker.
Oh, Planeswalker, right? Yeah. So 8.
And is there a sorcery? There's an Inquisition.
So 6.
No, it's creature, instant, land, sorcery, Planeswalker.
So 5.
So
okay.
5. Yeah.
So
So I believe Edgar is at.
Edgar's at 4.
Edgar's,
Okay.
Oh,
so we missed a couple
of attacks. So Edgar is actually at 4 life. So he passed the turn back. I think Edgar still needed to attack there.
Yeah. Like, you have 2 counter spells.
I mean, unless Edgar is just playing for the draw at this point,
which I think he can win this game.
I do think he can win. I mean,
with that click.
Yeah, there's. So I mean, right now, yeah, he's just
gonna return it, sure. And yeah, he's not blocking. Like he just missed 3 points of damage.
He's just, no attacks, no blocks. I mean, granted, if his opponent had a removal spell, he could kill him. But Edgar also has
snare and
pierce in his hand.
And all removal spells probably cost 2, and you can snare anything else.
So yeah, I mean,
why would you?
Jason would be at 8 life right now if he just attacked twice.
And then you just 3 turns off. Even if time is called, you're still good.
Right. I have not been a fan of a lot of decisions Edgar Flores has made.
I guess is he concerned about Wasteland?
Wasteland would kill him. That's true. That is a card that he would not be able to beat.
Would you rather draw or?
But are you beating Wasteland in this situation anyway? Like if he Wastelands your Mutavault,
yeah, you're probably just dead.
He attacks you. You can return it and then chump block, and then you're actually back on track there. But if he, he should just be attacking.
I mean, if he Wastelands you, like
5 life here, 5 life if he'd be attacking this turn.
It looks like Jason drew Jace, or he already had a Jace, 1 of the 2. Maybe he drew a land, had Jace in his hand. I'm not sure. I mean, so I understand Edgar's playing for the draw, but like a draw is practically a loss at this point. So would you rather go for the win? You know?
Yeah, I mean it's. I don't know. Like I think that a lot of people play, just in general, they play far too conservatively in terms of what looks like there may be a force of will. No.
Just spell pierces the Jace.
Yeah. Well, we knew that Jason had force of will from Vanilla Click before, but I mean, a lot of people they play far too defensively. They play, how can I try and avoid to not losing, rather than how do I win?
Right. You gotta look how to win.
So it looks like is he blocking with Click this time? And Click just dies? What's happening? Oh, another Click. Okay, sure.
Ship Spell Snare to the bottom. Draws a new card. Looking for a removal spell, I guess. But all right, this is turn 1.
Jason, by the way, is dead this turn if he had been attacking. Jason could not have attacked last turn because he would be dead to Mutavault and Click, and he'd be dead on Edgar's next turn if he'd just been attacking this whole time.
So Edgar played for the draw, but I think he could have just won.
He would have won this game.
Yeah.
If he had just been aggressive with his deadline Click.
And Star City Open champion Tim Skowski points out on Twitter that you should really Wasteland the Riptide Lad. We saw that comeback We saw that haunt Jason in the first game too, and in this game he could have Wastelanded that Riptide Lab several turns ago.
Yep.
And, yeah.
What do you do with his Wasteland?
I guess he just hit something else. It wasn't Riptide Lab, colored source potentially. In any case, this game is just a draw.
I believe they're in turn 4 now.
Turn 3 or 4,
turn
yeah.
3 or 4. So,
and, I mean, Edgar's got Lab. He's not going to let any extra attackers get through. We'll follow it out just in case something happens. And Jason serves in with Tarmogoyf. Edgar's going to do some blocking things. Turn 4.
And turns it.
Alright, dark. Alright, sure. Dark spell. Yeah, whatever. Spell Snare.
Force of Will.
Force of Will, sure. They're just going through theatrics at this point. Yeah, Jason would have easily been dead if Edgar had just been attacking.
It looks like they're discussing it.
All right, that's a draw.
There it is.
All right, so game ends up being a draw, and that's